Let's make some gyros. Into a bowl, you're going to add your ground meat, your spices, your grated onion, and your garlic. You're going to want to mix that super well. Probably mix it for a good 4 minutes with your hands. You're looking to achieve the beginnings of sort of a stringy texture. Once we do that, we're going to pack it back into the bowl super well, cover it, and let that go for a few hours to really develop some flavor. Let's move on to the tzatziki. You want to wring out your grated cucumber. You don't want all that extra water in your sauce. We're going to add that cucumber to the Greek yogurt. Squeeze in some fresh lemon juice. Always use fresh with your citrus in your recipes. Next, we're going to add in our minced dill and minced mint. Some good quality olive oil, your grated garlic, and of course your salt and pepper. Give that all a good mix, and of course, cover and store in the fridge. Anything like this tastes better the longer it sits. Moving on to our salad. Very simple salad here. We're just going to throw some chopped cucumbers and tomato into a bowl, some very thin sliced onion. Typically, you'd use red wine vinegar. I was out, so I'm substituting with some lemon juice. Our chopped fresh herbs of parsley and oregano, some salt and pepper to taste, and a little bit of olive oil. Give that a good mix, and of course into the fridge to sit with the rest of our ingredients. Oh, I did crumble some feta in here, which is not traditional, but I thought it would be a nice little salty touch. Moving right along to our pitas. This recipe makes 8, but I doubled everything. But the ingredients listed on the prior page are for 8 pitas. We're gonna proof our yeast, mix the yeast and sugar into the warm water. Give that a good whisk. We're gonna cover with a towel and give it 5 to 10 minutes to proof. While that proofed, I added the salt to the flour, whisked that in. And my yeast, it was pretty warm today, only took about 5 minutes to get nice and foamy and frothy. Added that to our flour, along with the olive oil. Gave that a good mix with a wooden spoon until it all came together, sort of a shaggy dough. Then I started to pull it together with my hands and kneaded it for about 5 minutes or so. Once it formed into a ball, I placed it in a bowl and let that almost triple in size here. I punched that dough down, and what I did was I weighed the bowl, tared the scale, and weighed the dough. Again, I doubled this recipe, but it really benefits to weigh out your dough and divide into the amount of portions you are looking for. Things just cook much more evenly that way. I rolled the pitas out into 9 to 10 inch circles or so. Brushed with a little olive oil. And in a medium skillet, place them oil side down, and they take about 1.5 minutes per side. I didn't have my skillet hot enough right away, so it didn't get as brown as I like, but you flip when it starts to bubble. Place them into a tea towel when they're done to keep them warm. And we ended up with some beautiful pitas. Going back to our meat, I took the meat and whipped it in my stand mixer to get a really stringy texture, almost like as if you were making sausage or dumpling stuffing. I packed that into a loaf pan really well to get all the air out. Placed that into a parchment lined roasting pan, and I poured boiling water from the kettle about halfway up the sides of the loaf pan. We did that so that when we bake this at a lower temp of 325, the water keeps the meat nice and moist and also helps achieve that texture that we're looking for. Once I did that, I added it to a 325 degree oven. You're looking for 155 to 160. It took about an hour. Sliced it thin, and then we assembled by adding the tzatziki, our gyro meat, and our salad. This came out absolutely delicious, well worth the time. Enjoy!